Hey guys, Civilord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Marvel Legends Avengers Beyond Earth's Mightiest Thor vs. Destroyer 2-pack. This is of course brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, as well as the local friend who shall not be named for privacy reasons, who was nice enough to pick me up this very 2-pack right here in front of you and me at my local Ollie's for the low price of $20 US. That's right, this $50 to $60 2-pack is only $20 at Ollie's right now, because I guess they're starting to get their holiday shipments in, so they're going to be stocking up on all kinds of cool stuff. So definitely going to be a place to keep an eye on for the foreseeable future anyway. It's been quite some time since my Ollie's has had anything worth the crap, we'll say, for this long. You know, I got the Super Adaptoid there, I got the Doctor Doom and was it Captain Marvel 2-pack there. I got a couple Spider-Man Retro series figures there. So they've been getting some more stuff as of late. I actually got some stuff I passed on. I didn't get the PulseCon exclusive World Domination Tour, whatever you call it, Elvis Do MODOK that came with that other guy. I don't think it's Scientist Supreme, I think it's somebody else. And then they also got Outback Rogue. Now if it was X-Men 97 Rogue, that'd be a different story. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they get the Super Skrull and Skrull Queen 2-pack. Basically Spider-Woman, the Skrull Queen. She's got a swappable head to make her Spider-Woman. And then the Bruce Banner and Hulk 2-pack. I would like to see them get that. As well as the Spider-Man Retro Series Daredevil Elektra. I actually just got Chasm. Not sure when I'll do a review of him, but he does go with that Hallows Eve chick. So maybe something for a Halloweeny there. Can maybe pull something out for that, but only time will tell, I guess. So with that being said, before we get too far ahead of ourselves, why don't we cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at all these guys got to offer in terms of accessories, because they come with a few. Destroyer just comes with a grip hand and an open hand. The grip hand don't even have the right hinge in it, so I kind of wish he just came with two open hands, but it's whatever. It's fine. It's adequate. Thor, of course, comes with his mighty Mjolnir hammer. Has a little writing on the side. And a little loop there. And he also has this very aggressive turn your head and cough hand. It's like he's gonna choke a bitch. And then he also has an alternate head. I can't tell the difference between the alt heads. I know they both got the goatee thing going on, but maybe one's slightly more miffed than the other one to be here. But that's too bad. Because moving Destroyer out of the way for a moment, we are going to look at Thor first. Because we've already seen this body a few times. That said, he does have new boots. He does still have a boot cut also. So if you're wondering about that, he does still have the boot cut. Very tight. But it's not gummy. So I'm okay with that, I guess. Same thing with the other side. Again, very tight, but not gummy. And then he's got new knee pads. We all might need to be busting those out with all the new stuff coming out, and then Ollie's is getting all this older stuff for super duper cheap. Might need some new knee pads ourselves, won't we? Crude humor, gotta love it. And then of course he's got the new head with the beard. Everything else I think is the same. I will say some people are a bit miffed with the fact that this is just painted on here. I mean, yeah, it would have been nice to get it sculpted, but they literally would have used it once. Of course, it's Hasbro, multi-billion-dollar company, but at the same time, to play devil's advocate, it doesn't bother me that much. It's on the side. I don't see it. I was trying to figure out why people were so miffed with this figure, and then when I finally did, I'm like, oh, it's on the side? It's not even on the front? I'm like, that ain't that big a deal. So, you know, while I would have liked it to be sculpted too, it doesn't, I'm not going to lose sleep over it, alright? But as far as articulation on this guy goes, his head is on a disc hinge, but you're not going to get much out of it. It does rotate, and it does have a little bit of pivot. but not a ton. The wings on the helmet weren't that warped when I opened it, so that was nice. The shoulders will go out to the side. Pretty far, actually. Wow, really far. Really, really far. Go back down. Swing back and forth. He does have a bicep twist. Double elbow. If you bend the top one, you'll get the most range. The top one first, I should say. Bend that back. And then the wrist here. This is kind of neat. He's got the Ragnarok wrist. So, if you can hear that pop, he's got the detented wrist swivel, so you can give him that swinging hammer effect. It'll be nice and tight in his hand. It won't be loose. He does have the appropriate hinge-folding weapons, by the way. So I do love that. Diaphragm joint works okay. Crunches forward. Crunches back. Does turn. And then it does tilt. That far and that far. Be mindful of this, you could wear this joint out, but I think these are a lot tighter than the 80th Thor, which is the best Thor, but that one has a kind of a loose diaphragm joint situation going on because he is kind of old. He was pre-pandemic. I think they've tightened some things up. This joint and this wrist in particular, with the Ragnarok release to this one, I think they made some improvements there. But as far as the hips go, they will kick out about that far. Kick forward about that far. Back down. He does have a waist twist. Should be worth noting this midsection is actually just a floaty piece over like a hard plastic piece that's actually giving you the waist twist and the diaphragm joint. It's not like a PVC torso like McFarlane Toys likes to do. Which, by the way, why isn't their shit in Ollie's? Like, really? McFarlane stuff goes on clearance like nobody's business, some of it. And, you know, I've never seen it at Ollie's, so I don't know what's going on there. That said, he does have a double knee. It's a little gummy in the knees, but it's not that bad. I mean, I've seen worse. And then, of course, he does have a boot swivel and a hinge in the feet with a rocker joint. Very tight. So, I like this guy. I like him more than I thought I would. So, he's definitely making the 2-pack worth more to me as far as the original retail price goes. Of course, I'm going to say it's worth $20 because, let's face it, the main reason I got this 2-pack is because I'm a sucker for this super generic looking robot character. I don't know what it is about Destroyer, but I love this character. I think he's awesome. I have the big Chungus Select version. Now I got the Legends one, which is basically their version of the Select. It's almost the same dang sculpt, other than he's got double knees instead of singles. But, yeah, I love this figure. I love this figure a lot. I wish he came with an alt head with like a laser blast maybe, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers. At this price, for $20, you can't beat it. This guy's a baff, essentially. So as far as his articulation goes, he's got a double ball peg in the head. Not as generous as the Bucky Barnes cap we looked at yesterday. Check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. He got a little bit more up and down. This guy, not so much. He does have some tilt side to side. I'm sure you could probably pop the head off. Hold on. Yeah, you could pop the head off. You can see there. And here's the thing with Hasbro double ball pegs. Let me actually... This is a rant for a minute. The reason you simpletons do not give this joint the credit it deserves is because Hasbro does this shit. They put the ball too deep in the neck. This should be, obviously, in the neck, but not that deep. And it should be a much bigger ball. That way you'll get more range, and it'll be less hindered. That's how you're supposed to do it. And Hasbro does it wrong most of the time to make you guys believe that disc hinge is the end-all be-all joint for the head. It's not. You're just silly and haven't gotten a good one yet. Naive, we'll say. Possibly stupid. Either way, he does have a rotation in the shoulder. The pauldrons are, I think, connected in the shoulder socket, but they are like keyed slightly. I can't get them to rotate independently. I'm trying to figure out where exactly they are at as far as being connected. Actually, nope, they are connected right on top of the shoulder. Right on top of the shoulder, so be mindful of that. They might have a little hinge joint, I'm not sure. But they are connected to the shoulder. They are not connected to the... I think they do have a little hinge joint in there. That's interesting. But they're not connected to the shoulder socket. So be careful when you're bending the arms out like this. Because while you can get the range, you don't want to pop those off. So I wouldn't go farther than that. I think that's enough. It's flexing a bit, but it's not damaging it. I don't think it's stressing it at all. It's just limited. Yeah, those are on hinge joints, man. Yeah, that's a hinge joint in there. That's exactly what that is. So you could totally get it to kind of hinge upward and out of your way, and then back down. And then this side was a little tighter on mine, but it does also work. Yeah, those are hinge joints. So not very good as far as range on those hinge joints, but it is there. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have a single jointed elbow that gets you, I think, just about 90, which I think is fine. Does have a swivel in the elbow, swivel in the wrist with a hinge. The diaphragm joint on this guy's pretty good. You can go forward really far. It's like suck on that ab crunch. Then you can go back. Sure, a lot of people are like, oh, you should have the inverted ab crunch. Why? So you couldn't like lean him and stuff? Because this diaphragm joint is enough. You get your rotation and you get your tilt side to side, I think. Yeah, you can get some tilt. A lot of tilt. It works just fine. So, yeah. Maybe a waist cut would have been nice, but I don't know. I don't need anything more than that, really. His hips will kick forward pretty well. Back. Out. Better than some Spider-Man. He's got a thigh cut. That works fine. Now, I will say the knees. They're double jointed and they're pinless. Alright, so let's just get that out of the way. There's one joint. There's two. That's pretty much as far as you're going to get. I had to heat these suckers because they were tight as shit out of the box. And I will tell you also, the discs on the knees are relatively thin compared to how bulky this guy actually is. Like, I think the elbow discs here, you can see from the front, are pretty thick in comparison to the arm. These discs for the knees are not that thick. Feels like they're slightly thinner than the elbows, so they do have a little flex to them. But if you've been collecting Transformers from Hasbro, you know that some of the hard plastic pieces have a little give to them to prevent breakage. So I don't think that's anything to worry about, but it's something to take note of. If yours is doing that, it's not gummy plastic, it's the hard plastic, it just has some flex to it. Do not force these joints. If yours do not move like mine did, heat them up and they'll work just fine, I assure you. As far as the feet goes, he does have a hinge in the foot. It's kind of hard to use, but it is there. There you go. And he does have a rocker. And peg holes at the bottom of the feet, though he doesn't need them. He's a big guy. He can stand up just fine. I love this figure. I don't care. This thing is awesome. This is one of my favorite Legends from last year. And the fact that the Thor is better than I thought it would be definitely makes this 2-pack worth it in my book. Possibly even worth the original retail price. I don't know. I'm going to leave that up to you guys because your money, you can do whatever you want with it, but I like this set. I think this set's definitely worth it. I think it's fun. Thor also has the peg holes, obviously, but I like this set, man. I'm a Hasbro shill in this video. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're going to have to revoke my Hasbro Narc card, but I like this set. What can I say? I did also get it for 20 bucks, so maybe I'm incredibly biased, which wouldn't be the first time. Just go watch a video about Spawn, Ghost Rider, or Gargoyles on this channel, and you'll see how biased I can get. Speaking of biased, bring our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibolith. Obviously, I'm biased towards this figure. He's in every frickin' video, and he's a channel mascot. As well as the infamous Uncoiled Spawn. Well, I did just say I was biased towards Spawn, so that shouldn't be that surprising. Getting edged off camera by Destroyer there, because he's not towering over everyone today. Can't tower over him all the time. That said, I will say this grip hand here could come in handy with that Odin that's coming out later this year. That deluxe Odin. I think he's supposed to come with a sword, and maybe you could pop the head onto this, though I think that Odin's a little bigger than this Destroyer. At least I hope so, because if that Odin is $60 and he's the same size as this Destroyer, that's kind of a ripoff. That said, it's time now that we move right along and wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and for the price I paid, that of course being $20 US, I'm over the moon with this 2-pack. I love this Destroyer figure, and this Thor figure was a pleasant surprise, despite the fact that I do have probably the best Thor fine folks over at Hasbro have ever given us, the 80th anniversary version. This one is no slouch. If you can get a more classic looking head to go on this version, I think he is probably a close second as far as best Thor we've gotten in the life of the Marvel Legends line. That's got that more classic look about it. That said, the main question most of you out there in YouTube land are probably wondering, is it worth the original retail price, which if I'm not mistaken was about $50, $60? I think this one is one of the rare occasions that yes it is. Destroyer's all new tooling, comes with a couple extra hands. Would have been nice if he had like a blast effect for the eyes or whatever, but it is what it is. And then the Thor, while it is heavy reuse, you do get the new boots, you get the new head. I feel like if they threw the spinny hammer from Ragnarok in with this, I would be a little bit more apt to say definitely worth the original retail price, especially since he has the tighter detented and or ratcheted wrist joint to hold said swingy hammer effect. So had they had done that, I would say that this is definitely worth the original retail price. But as it stands, I'm going to leave that up to you. It's your money. You're free to do with it whatever you want, but I think it's worth it. It's definitely worth what I paid, and I really enjoy this set, and I'm very happy to have it. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.